Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's walk round. Hull! Shopping centres are quite spectacular. The locals are a bit weird. So first impressions of Hull is it's actually quite posh. And the one person I've spoken to so far today was a car park attendant. He was lovely. Shopping centre is built next to a canal, but it's a bit of a crap canal because it goes underneath the shopping centre, but it doesn't actually go any further here. And turn round, it's just a park. If you ever want fresh fish and chips, you can do a lot worse than come to Hull. They're always looking to improve things here in Hull. God knows they need to. So they're doing this, they're building a brand new shopping centre here, but this is just the foundations, so hopefully it'll be done before the end of the millennium. Multiple phallic objects. Yeah. There's references to Doctor Who around here, but I've got absolutely no idea where any of them are. Yes, they've got a sex shop. I love it when they have a sex shop, even though I don't go there. There are multiple things I already like about Hull, and I've only been here for about 20 minutes, and that is that they pay homage to kids' TV programmes of the past. So, for example, if you're a massive fan of Rainbow, there's Zebedee's Yard, and then they pay massive respect to grime and rap and classical music with Straight Outta Lockdown, which I like. That's two things together I like, simultaneously and together at the same time. Sterling Meat Company, traditional butchers. You can tell it's traditional because it's black, and that's the traditional colour of butchers. In Hull, they're proud of their huge model village. Well, I say huge. That's it. But we shall never forget them. Town centre is, town centre, it's the city centre, is full of exciting and thriving shops. There's been, we've already seen a sex shop, and then we saw another shop, which was a nice shop called Bad Wolf, and I'm just surrounded by loads and loads of shops that are just hiving with activity and busy and exciting and absolutely stunningly, maybe not this row, pretty much like any town. Never really been into vaping, I'll be honest. I always think vaping's quite boring and there's nothing exciting about it at all. If only somewhere that sold vapes that were probably a bit more interesting, I might give it a go. Obviously I won't. That was for comedic effect. I don't freak you guys out, but it's the last chance to buy a clearance store, so you better get there quick. There's only one left. This arcade behind me is one of the modern ones that was built in the 1980s. You can tell with the architecture and stuff like that. It's very Jacobean. But sadly, even though it's a Sunday and the town is quite full, it's closed at the moment. Stop now, shop now. Not now. It's closed at the moment. I don't think I've said this before, but the people of Yorkshire are not the cleanest. But there are places dotted around the city where you could have various body parts cleaned. For example, here at I wonder how much it is. I'll see you in a minute. Sadly, it's closed at the moment. I don't think it is in Hull. It's quite windy. But let's not worry. There's loads of beer. Some of the buildings in Hull are incredibly old. For example, the Manchester Inn and the Old House, which looks quite wonky, I'll be honest with you. But not as wonky as the Tulips, apparently, of which they're proud. If you like murals, they have at least one. That one. You've seen it now, though, so you don't know bother coming. They've also got a pub which is very badly named, which is that one there, which is the Oldie Black Boy, which of course you can't say anymore. It's the Old Black Boy. It's the old Blue Peter Gardens there, when it used to film it in Hull. Now the Romanians were here in the past, and they're like amphitheatres. And this is an amphitheatre, but it's not like a normal amphitheatre. It's an amphitheatre that's up in the sky. Admitted, not by our standards, but by Romanian standards, it was very high. And they've even got the entrance there for the stage. And the box office is brilliant! Because it's very damp around here with all the water, the rulers got bent, so when they built things here in Hull, they don't want to be curvy. Definitely should have one of these in Wigan. Another recent build. This one was built in the 1970s. It's a museum for commercial use. Sadly, it's closed at the moment. I don't want to complain or anything, but I like my museums to be complete, not just a quarter of them. I recently heard that Kanye West had lost his toe. Do you want to tell him it's in Hull? When someone goes mad with the pruning shears. What the heck? But never mind. It's a perfect place to play table tennis and pretend you're that woman off the news. Only small, not full-size tennis because it's too hard, that. Pong ping. Although they're both in Yorkshire, I think this has been stolen from the National Railway Museum in York. They're determined to keep them though, aren't they? Look at that. Behind me there is a statue of William Wilberforce, or Little Dirty Willie as he used to be called. But he went to that place we were talking about earlier and he's got a clean one now, so it's fine. Amazingly, the last few clips have been shot on Hull High Street. The bridge behind me was built in 1827 by three men who smoked pipes. And it actually tilts up, that bit there goes up like that. Sadly, they're not doing it today. One thing about Hull is the old and the new. You've got the newish Premier Inn, you've got the old building there which looks like some kind of northern diver's place. And then as you scroll round, you've got a brand new fence which has been brand newly graffitiised by some graffiti artist who isn't Banksy. He's not allowed in Hull. So it's like, everyone's trying to be alternative these days. I mean, started in the 1980s with comedians and all that kind of stuff. And they got blue plaques in Hull, but they're alternative. I mean, come on, if you're going to do something, make it serious. Don't make light of things. Do it. People want to learn stuff. That is just BS. Don't be like me. Do it proper. Here you can see the tippy bit of it. The bridge, that is not of the Venn diagram sign that I just showed you. Beautiful Baroque architecture there. That's a pub that's bent, but I mentioned before, the rulers get damp, so nothing's straight. As we know, Big Ben at the moment is, or the Elizabeth Tower is being redeveloped. And here, they've got a monument that basically recreates what's going on in London, so the people of Hull don't have to go to London, because why would they want to go there? Because Hull is in Yorkshire, well, I think it is. Might be in Yorkshire. They're always at war with the Lancashirians. There was a big war called the War of the Roses, where the Red Rose fought the White Rose. But to show peace, now in Yorkshire, all the old post boxes have been painted white to represent the White Rose of Lancashire. That's nice! In most places, slavery's been abolished. Because it's not nice. Not in Hull, no, but mind you, if you're Scottish, they'll sell you anyway. The old people of Hull, they like their TV celebrities so much, they've even got a statue there of Hughie Green, who used to do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in the day. That's a proper phallic symbol, isn't it? It helps with the fertility. Apparently, if you're a man and you go and stroke it and rub it, your fertility increases greatly. I don't know if it's true or not, but it may well be. One thing there are not many of here in Hull are public toilets. So there's nothing worse when you're desperate than standing for ages and unnecessarily next to a fountain. It sounds like someone having a pee. I'm just standing here and not doing anything, because that's really annoying. Can you imagine wanting to desperately needing a wee and then being stood here for far too long? Yeah, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? Anyway, if you want to pause now and go to the toilet yourself because you're getting the effects, feel free. I'll be back I'll be back when you're back. One thing that's got to be said about Hull is the traffic is absolutely bloody awful. Everywhere you go, it's gridlock. It's absolute gridlock. It's just unbelievable. It's like London, but worse. It's just insane. So never drive when you come to Hull. Unless you want to park in a car park that's the roads. I mean, look at it. The latest technology in toilets here in Hull. You can pee under Queen Elizabeth's statue. So as you come out of the toilet, that gentleman out, you realise that there's a statue there of Queen Elizabeth IV. We've already seen fish that are alive, but with dead fish, they just pound them into the ground to make footpaths out of them, which I think is very cruel, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people question my style, not the shop. That shop is niche, and so is this joke. Very, very few people will get this. However, there we've got Lion's Den, where they have the perfect panini. It's not often I get confused, but there is Siegel's Jewelers, and then there's another building, which is a completely separate building, called Today's Express, which is sadly closed at the moment. But next to it is the rest of Siegel's Jewelers. What? I don't know about you, but whenever I want to save money on bills and things like that, I always go to someone who I could trust, someone with experience, someone with life skills, someone who's been there, done that, everything. So I'm going to take all my advice off this lad, because he's obviously been everywhere and done everything. And his mates are coming. For me, one of the most pointless things that you can do is go somewhere, go in a room and then try and escape from it. It's a bit like a bad hotel. But here in Hull, they've got an escape room, which you can't do today because it's closed, because they're that popular, they don't bother opening on Sunday. Which proves my point, they're absolute... Get a computer game, it's much more fun. If you want to pretend you're in New York, then you can do with this skyscraper, although it's shrunk down, so you can see it all with one look. I thought this was an extinct species of mankind. It's bizarre. A lot of people like drawing around here, so they have shops that particularly are aimed at the people who do drawing. Here we've got Sketchers, where you can buy probably pens and things like that. On an escalator. Scares me. Sadly, being a television star, you can no longer make enough money to get by with. So, as well as doing the early morning news and that tipping catchphrase thing, Ben Sherman has got his own shops as well. Shopping can be very scary at times, but here in Hull, they do try and help people with customer support, although sadly, it's closed at the moment. So you want to come somewhere that's got stunning architecture like this behind me, and it's got ships that are turned into car parks, like that one behind me. You can do a lot worse than come to Hull. Kingston, Hull, Kingston something. I don't know what it's called. But I know what it is. It's a place that you can come. It's also got a cathedral as well, I think, but I couldn't find that. So, let me know where it is. Till next time, bye! Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's walk round. The old blue people. A lot of people are very specific. No. It's not easy to get confused. What?